The moment you want to quit is the exact moment destiny leans in to see what you're truly made of. There's a silent line that separates those who stop and those who rise, and right now, you're standing on that line. You're tired, you're stretched thin, and your heart keeps whispering, maybe this isn't meant for me, but that whisper isn't truth, it's fear. And fear has a way of showing up right before a breakthrough. You may not see it yet, but the universe often hides your greatest turning point behind the illusion of exhaustion. That fatigue you feel, it's not a signal to stop, it's resistance breaking right before something shifts. Every dream tests the one who holds it. Every vision asks, do you want this badly enough to endure the emptiness before the abundance arrives? And right now, you're in that test. The truth is, you've come too far to fold. You didn't survive everything you've faced just to let this be the chapter where you give up. You weren't pulled through your storms, heartbreaks, and battles, only to let discouragement win at the finish line. You are standing in a pivotal moment where your doubt is loud because your potential is louder. And deep inside, even beneath the pain, there's still a spark that refuses to die. You felt it, that tiny flame inside your chest that flickers even when everything falls apart. That flame is your reminder that you're not done. That flame is your proof that something inside you still believes there's more. And there is. There always has been. Right now, your mind may be trying to protect you from disappointment by convincing you to quit. But your soul knows what your future looks like, and that's why you can't walk away. You weren't built for an ordinary life. You weren't built to settle, shrink, or surrender to temporary struggle. There is a version of you waiting on the other side of this moment, stronger, calmer, clearer, and so deeply aligned with who you were meant to become. That version of you is calling from the future saying, hold on, don't stop here. Every setback you've experienced has been shaping you into someone who can handle what you've asked for. You prayed for growth, and growth often arrives disguised as discomfort. You asked for strength, and strength is born in moments where you could have broken but chose not to. You asked for a new life, and new lives often begin when old versions of you fall apart. Nothing you are going through right now is pointless. Nothing is wasted. Even the pain has purpose. Even the silence has meaning. Even the delays have direction. You're being guided even when you can't see the path. You're being prepared even when nothing makes sense. Life isn't denying you, it's positioning you. And the only thing you have to do in this moment is refuse to give up, because you are closer than you think. Breakthroughs rarely announce their arrival. They show up disguised as the moments when quitting feels easier than continuing. But continuing is exactly what will shift everything. This is the turning point. This is the moment where your future is shaped by your decision to hold on. So don't stop now. Don't walk away. Don't quit. Your story is far from over, and the best parts haven't even begun. There are days when life feels unbearably heavy, when everything you touch seems to crumble, when nothing moves, and every door you knock on stays shut. You wake up with hope but go to sleep defeated, wondering why progress comes so slowly for you while others seem to move effortlessly. You question your worth, your path, your decisions, and sometimes even your purpose. You look at your reflection and barely recognize the person staring back because life has carved new lines of exhaustion across your spirit. This is the part no one talks about, the quiet, lonely moments where you convince yourself that maybe you're failing, but you're not failing. You're being stretched, strengthened, and shaped for something bigger than your current circumstances can reveal. When everything seems to be falling apart, it's easy to believe the universe has forgotten you. But the truth is, it's rearranging what no longer fits your next chapter. Some doors close because they're not meant to carry you any further. Some people drift away because their energy cannot align with who you are becoming. Some opportunities disappear because they were too small for the version of you that is emerging through this pressure. You are not being punished, you are being redirected. Life is removing what is not in alignment with the future you're stepping into. Even in moments of deep uncertainty, something inside you keeps going. You've had days where your heart felt like it was breaking, yet you still woke up and tried again. That persistence isn't weakness, it's courage. It means there is a force within you that refuses to surrender, and that force is evidence that you are being guided, even if you can't see the destination yet. You feel lost only because you're walking a path you've never traveled before. Growth always feels like chaos at first. Transformation always feels like confusion before it becomes clarity. You might feel like you're behind, but you're not. You're exactly where you need to be, experiencing exactly what you need to experience to become the kind of person who can hold the life you've been asking for. The struggle you're in is not a sign that you're unworthy, it's a sign that you're evolving. You can't step into a new level carrying the old version of yourself. That's why life is stripping away everything that no longer aligns with your highest timeline. It's okay to be tired. It's okay to feel lost. It's okay to question everything. But don't mistake discomfort for defeat. You are not done. You are not broken. You are not failing. You are becoming. Every challenge is Garby. A deeper strength into your character. Every delay is building patience. Every disappointment is rerouting you to something better. The pain you're feeling now is simply the pressure of transformation. This moment is temporary. This struggle is temporary. But the person you are becoming because of it, that person is eternal. Hold on to the truth that even the darkest nights eventually give way to sunrise. Even the heaviest storms eventually run out of rain. And even the deepest doubts eventually dissolve when clarity returns. You are being prepared for a life that matches the strength you've shown, the faith you've held, and the resilience you've built through every silent battle. Do not underestimate the power of this season. Do not underestimate the way life is shaping you. The struggle you're in is not your ending, it's the doorway to a better beginning, and you're getting closer with every breath. There comes a moment when you realize that the world around you isn't what needs to change, it's the world within you. Everything begins to shift the second you understand that your thoughts are not just passing ideas, they are blueprints. They shape your energy, your choices, your reactions, and ultimately, your reality. When you decide to shift your inner lens, the outer world adjusts to match it. This is where true transformation begins, not with a miracle outside of you, but with a decision inside you. The decision to stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances and start seeing yourself as the creator of them. The decision to stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this trying to show me? That subtle shift in perspective becomes the foundation for an entirely new life. When you begin to understand that your mind is not a prison but a doorway, everything opens. You realize that you can choose thoughts that empower you instead of thoughts that drain you. You start to notice how often you rehearse pain and replay failure in your mind, and you make a deliberate choice to break that pattern. Because nothing changes until your thoughts change. And the shift happens the moment you decide that you will think higher than your circumstances. You will think from the level of the life you want, not the life you're trying to escape. This is the point where you stop letting fear narrate your future and start letting intention guide it. As this inner shift deepens, your energy begins to change. People feel it. Opportunities feel it. Life feels it. You stop chasing everything and begin attracting the things meant for you. You move from desperation to alignment. And alignment is powerful because it doesn't require force. It creates flow. The more you align your thoughts with what you desire, the more your reality starts to reflect that frequency. You begin to experience moments that feel like confirmation, random ideas that lead to solutions, unexpected support from people you never considered, moments of clarity that appear in the middle of chaos. These moments aren't accidents. They are signs that your inner shift is becoming visible in your external world. You start to understand that happiness is not something you wait for. It's something you practice. Peace is not something you find. It's something you choose. Confidence is not something you're born with. It's something you build by keeping promises to yourself. And the greatest shift of all is the realization that you are not powerless. You are not stuck. You are not at the mercy of life. You are the architect of your experience. And everything changes the day you reclaim that truth. You stop waiting for the perfect moment. You stop waiting for permission. You stop waiting for signs. You begin living in the frequency of your desires, trusting that the external world will eventually match what you've already become internally. This shift doesn't remove challenges, it changes how you face them. You stop breaking under pressure and start rising because of it. You stop seeing obstacles as dead ends and start seeing them as direction. And slowly you begin to realize that nothing outside of you has power unless you give it power. This is the moment you step into your true strength. The moment you understand that reality doesn't change first, you do. And when you change, everything around you begins to follow. That is the shift that turns struggle into purpose, fear into clarity, and doubt into momentum. When you make an internal shift, the universe begins to move in ways you never expected. Suddenly you start noticing small signs, subtle, gentle nudges that remind you that you are not alone on this journey. A conversation that brings clarity, a message that arrives at the perfect moment, an opportunity that aligns with a desire you kept quiet. These aren't coincidences, they're confirmations, they're responses to the new energy you're choosing to embody, because the universe is always responding to what you believe you deserve. The moment you raise your standards, life rises to meet them. You begin to see that every thought carries a frequency and every emotion broadcasts a signal. When you shift from fear to trust, your energy expands. When you shift from desperation to gratitude, your path becomes clearer. And when you truly believe that what you desire is already yours, the universe rearranges itself to deliver it. Not instantly, not always obviously, but consistently. You start encountering synchronicities, moments so aligned they feel almost magical. These moments serve as whispers from the invisible, saying, keep going. Stay aligned, you're on the right path. You notice that resistance begins to fade. The things you used to force no longer require effort. You stop pushing against closed doors and start walking toward open ones. People show up at the perfect time. Ideas flow with ease. Solutions appear in moments where previously you would have panicked. This is the power of alignment. You are no longer operating from fear or lack. You're operating from clarity, intention, and trust. And trust is the bridge between where you are and where you're meant to be. Life begins to mirror your inner growth. The friendships you attract become deeper and more supportive. The opportunities that appear align with your values and vision. The situations that used to drain you no longer hold the same power. You feel lighter, more connected, more aware. You begin to understand that you were never waiting on life. Life was waiting on you to step into belief, waiting on you to let go of doubt, waiting on you to open the door to a reality that has been trying to reach you all along. And even during the moments where nothing seems to be happening, you start to trust the unseen. You begin to understand that silence is not abandonment. It's alignment forming beneath the surface. Just because you can't see progress doesn't mean progress isn't being made. Seeds grow in the dark before they ever break through the soil. Your manifestations work the same way. They take shape in the invisible long before you witness them in the physical. And when you stay steady, patient, and grounded, the universe rewards your faith with breakthroughs that feel almost surreal. The shift within you becomes a vibration that calls in everything meant for your highest good. You stop chasing what was never meant for you and start receiving what always belonged to you. You realize that divine timing is not late and divine alignment is never wrong. Everything arrives the moment you're ready, not the moment you're desperate. And when you understand this truth, you stop questioning the process and start trusting the journey. Because the universe is not ignoring you, it's orchestrating something far bigger than you can see. And every sign, every synchronicity, every unexpected blessing is proof that your alignment is working. Proof that your inner shift has opened the door. Proof that you are finally becoming a match to the life you've been dreaming of. There comes a moment when the weight you've carried for so long begins to feel lighter. Not because life suddenly became easier, but because you finally became stronger. You begin to notice how every setback has sculpted you, how every disappointment has sharpened you, how every moment you thought was breaking you was actually building the version of you that rises now. Your comeback doesn't start when everything around you gets better. It begins the moment something inside you refuses to stay down. You stand up differently this time. You speak to yourself differently. You think differently. You're no longer triggered by the same fears, no longer held hostage by the same doubts, no longer willing to settle for the same limits. A new strength is awakening in you, quiet, steady, unshakable. This comeback isn't loud or dramatic. It doesn't require applause or validation. It begins in silence, in the private decisions you make when no one is watching. It's built in the moments you choose discipline over distraction, faith over fear, alignment over chaos. You reclaim your power step by step, thought by thought. You realize that the person you used to be, someone who doubted everything, who compared everything, who questioned everything, is slowly fading. And the person emerging is someone rooted, centered, and intentional. Someone who no longer begs for their dreams but prepares for them. Every challenge you faced has given you something. Wisdom, resilience, clarity, boundaries, emotional intelligence. These are not small things. These are the foundations of a stronger you. The heartbreak taught you what you should never tolerate again. The failure taught you where you needed to grow. The delay taught you patience. The rejection taught you redirection. You didn't just survive the difficult moments. You absorbed their lessons, and those lessons are now guiding your rise. You're becoming wiser than your old patterns, calmer than your old fears, and more powerful than your old limitations. This comeback is not about proving anyone wrong. It's about proving yourself right. It's about honoring the version of you who kept going even when everything felt hopeless. It's about stepping into the life that once felt out of reach, because now you finally understand that you are worthy of it. You're not rushing anymore. You're not desperate anymore. You're not trying to control everything anymore. You trust yourself now. And that trust becomes the fuel for your momentum. You move with intention, not anxiety. You move with clarity, not confusion. You move with purpose, not pressure. And because of that, life begins to meet you differently. You attract opportunities that match your new frequency. You connect with people who speak to the level you're rising into. You make decisions that honor your future, not your fears. The old you would have settled. The old you would have hesitated. The old you would have overthought. But the version of you standing here today knows better. You are rising, not because you avoided the storm, but because you walked through it and learned how to carry the rain. Your comeback is not just about returning to who you were. It's about becoming someone you've never been. E4, stronger, deeper, wiser, more aligned, more intentional, more powerful. This is the chapter where you rebuild, not from panic, but from purpose, not from doubt, but from confidence, not from fear, but from certainty. You're not just coming back, you're coming back above the level you fell from, and this time, nothing can pull you down because you finally understand who you are and what you're capable of. You are standing on the edge of a version of yourself you've never met before. A version shaped by everything you've endured, everything you've healed, and everything you've chosen to rise above. And right now, more than ever, you need to remember one thing: you are so much closer than you think. Closer to clarity, closer to breakthrough, closer to alignment. Life has been pulling you, shaping you, redirecting you, and preparing you quietly behind the scenes. Even when nothing made sense, even when progress felt invisible, something within you was still growing. You didn't quit. You didn't break. You kept going. And that alone means your next chapter is inevitable. The future version of you is already celebrating the choices you're making right now. The choice to keep moving forward. The choice to believe in yourself even when doubt screamed louder. The choice to trust the process even when the path ahead felt uncertain. That future version of you, the one thriving, peaceful, fulfilled, aligned, is watching you with gratitude. Because every step you take today is building the foundation for their reality. They know how much you've battled internally. They know the nights you cried quietly. They know the thoughts you had to fight. They know the strength it took to stand up again when everything inside you wanted to stay down. And they are silently whispering, "Don't stop. Don't give up. You're almost here." There will always be moments where the journey feels overwhelming. Moments where you question whether your effort is worth it. Moments where progress feels slow and life feels unfair. But these moments do not define you. They refine you. They sharpen your vision, deepen your faith, and strengthen your character. They remind you that you are capable of far more than you think. Every time you rise, you build a confidence that cannot be taken. Every time you push through, you deepen a resilience that cannot be broken. Your persistence is becoming your superpower. You must understand that the universe responds to endurance, not perfection, not speed, not certainty, endurance. The willingness to believe even when you can't see. The willingness to take steps even when the finish line is invisible. The willingness to choose hope over fear. This is what opens the doors. This is what activates the path. This is what aligns your life with the version of you that already exists in your highest timeline. As you move forward, carry this truth with you. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not forgotten. Everything you've gone through has placed you exactly where you need to be for what comes next. And what comes next is not chaos, it's clarity. Not loss, it's alignment. Not struggle, it's elevation. You are stepping into a chapter that reflects the strength you've built, the wisdom you've earned, and the resilience you've embodied. So don't give up now. Don't slow down. Don't surrender to temporary emotions. You are walking toward a life that is already aligned with you, one filled with peace, abundance, purpose, and meaning. Hold this affirmation close to your heart as your guiding reminder. I am becoming everything I once prayed for. Say it, feel it, believe it, because it's already unfolding. And your future self is waiting with open arms for the moment you step fully in. Oh, the life that has always been meant for you.